Right, guys, welcome to Tango's TikToks. Here we go with a bit of freaky TikToks for you. Let's hear what this guy has to say.
It's getting weird. Part infinity. So I made a video yesterday talking about how there was this piece of artwork that sold for $200 million. And I was like, oh, they're definitely laundering money. And there's a bunch of like art people that are really into art, I guess. And they're telling me that I'm wrong. I don't know about art, etc., etc. Let me double down. There's no piece of art on the face of this earth worth $200 million. Zero. People don't have food, and you're telling me, you're trying to convince me that a piece of art is worth $200 million. I need you to go outside, take your shoes off, and dig your toes into the grass. I need you to touch grass. Stop writing me dissertations in the fucking comments and dissertations in my messages. I'm not reading them. I said what I said. Whether they're laundering money or not laundering money, it's still not worth $200 million.
Agreed, 100%. You should see some of this artwork. They are crap.
$50 billion is how much money we spent building a pyramid and a city on the other side of the planet. It's called Astana, Kazakhstan. And the pyramid that we built is in the middle of it, right in the heart of the city. It houses 200 delegates. And ironically, there are 200 fallen angels. But if you click inside that building, you can go to the boardroom, which has a round table where all 200 delegates get to meet. And if you disagree with them, there's a hole right there in the middle of the table, and you can see all the way down to the floor of reconciliation. And I guess that's the whole of peace. And that's next on the trumpet. The United States were some of the first people to even invest their money there. This is just one of many buildings they built. Circular 200-seat chamber for world religion meetings. Chapter 3 of the Book of Enoch, Fallen Angels, tells you all about the 200 angels that descended onto Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is where that happened. And if you go to the Book of Enoch, you can see that those 20 names that it mentioned right underneath that verse, they were leaders of tens. So there were 200 people that descended right here on top of Mount Hermon. And the United Nations decided this is right where we need to build a base, on the 33rd degree parallel. These people right here, and he will gather the nations. And no, I'm not talking about the Pope. Look at that logo right there. That's quite simply the 33rd degree. That logo shows the earth divided by 8 sections, and each section is divided by 4 other sections. 8 times 4 is 32, and the center section makes the 33rd. There's a lot of people on that same page. Now you're going to start seeing that 33 show up everywhere, like in the buttons on his cloak. They represent the years of Jesus' life. The 33rd degree is where Jesus transfigured in front of the disciples. The 33rd degree is where the Masons built the Tower of Babel out of bricks. And yes, if you work with bricks or stones, you are considered a Mason. Charleston, South Carolina, home of the Masons. I love that these guys think that they are the oldest fraternity of men. You're not the oldest fraternity of men that swore an oath. That was the fallen angels. And they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. That book is in the Library of Congress. And this book is right on my shelf for all of us to read. And in the Sermon on the Mount, these are Jesus' words right here. Verse 33, in case you weren't paying attention. Again ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, Thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths. The men of old time are spoken of right here in Genesis chapter 6 under the wickedness of the world. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Jesus goes on in the book of Matthew and says, "But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne." Swearing in on the Bible now has a whole new meaning for me. And when they take the oath of office, well, this ought to be great. These are all Jesus' words in red, right there. You don't have to subscribe to get any of my work, but I appreciate the support. But if you click on my link tree right there, and right there, it'll take you to where all of my documents are free for you to download and print off for yourself.
I thought it was fake until I went on the CIA.gov and found it.
Here we go.
And I was like, what am I looking at? Okay, so we've talked about before Project Stargate.
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
That's the remote viewing.
Yes.
Well, apparently, so Project Stargate was started in the 70s, 1970s. In 1985, they started a new project called Project Sunstreak, which sounds pretty similar to Stargate, except they did more like obscure things for remote viewing. So some instances would be like they had remote viewers within Project Sunstreak that would do drug busts all over the world. And there was one guy who was 50% effective. So he would just sit in a room and they'd give him a map and he's like, they're going to be here, here, here. 50% of the time he was always right with big drug busts.
That's nuts.
But there was one that I said, this has to be a joke, not a joke. This was a real mission in Project Stargate. And
this is a CIA government document.
yes. Okay. And I have the document right here. It's on CIA.gov. This was training target 0209 is the Ark of the Covenant.
What? What?
What are they doing with it?
On December 5th, 1988, this one man, for his training exercise, was to find the Ark of the Covenant. And what he wrote was bone chilling. What he
Gosh.
saw.
Antarctica.
Okay, no.
Darn.
Pyramids.
I'm just going to read what he said.
Yeah.
It's not that long.
Directly from .gov.
Yeah. So this is the official, his, what do you call it?
Debrief.
Or he was viewer number 032. So number viewer 32. Like this is what he said about the Ark of the Covenant. Target is in a container. This container has another container inside of it. The target is fashioned of wood, gold, and silver. The target is similar in shape to AOL, which I don't know what that means, a coffin, and is decorated with seraphim. See sketch, page 16.
So they're describing it.
Yeah.
Got
so
it.
he's viewing it and they're writing down. The target is located somewhere in the Middle East, as the language spoken by individuals present seemed to be Arabic. Visuals of surrounding buildings indicated the presence of a mosque, domes, ? See page 12. Individuals in the area were clothed in virtually all white, had black hair and dark eyes. One figure I homed in on wore a mustache. There's just the one guy.
Can't trust him.
It's probably named Keith.
My stepdad's up to no good.
The target is hidden underground. Dark and wet were all aspects of the location of the target. The purpose of the target is to bring people together. See page 16. It has something to do with ceremony, memory, homage, and the resurrection.
What?
There is an aspect of spirituality, information, lessons, and historical knowledge far beyond what we know. The target, this is the part. The target, being the Ark of the Covenant, is protected by entities. See page 14. And can only be opened by those who are authorized to do so. This container will not / cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. Once it is time to open the container, the mechanics of the lock system will be found to be fairly simple. Individuals opening the container by prying or striking are destroyed by the container's protectors, see page 17, through the use of a power unknown to us. That is a CIA document.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, dude. Entities?
It's protected by entities.
And it's only authorized people can go. Like, who's authorized?
The Levites.
I mean, golly, dude. It's wet and it's dark. Entities are protecting it.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
And what's interesting is he says seraphim on the thing, but then he refers to entities too.
Yeah, well, and the entities are protecting it.
Yeah, outside. Not a part of it.
Well, no, it's weird is I heard the thing. Apparently after this, there was a briefing about this within the CIA, and this was a training exercise. This is what he came away with. But the man knew nothing. He did not know how to speak Arabic. He knew nothing of the Middle East.
Yeah.
And so they're saying a lot of the pictures that he drew and whatnot, and the words that he said, lined up a lot with Ethiopia. Because they have a very Middle Eastern architect or buildings and stuff. And there's that one place where they claim the Ark of the Covenant is, and the guards in it, they typically dress in like all white and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're like, there's a good chance that it's in Ethiopia.
Well, that's always been the thought. So, like, what's stopping, if it is there, and even dumb people like me know that, like, it's rumored to be there. Has the government never made a trip to Ethiopia like that? Has there ever been?
They definitely have.
I mean, has there ever been like weird things like how they shut down
That's the
site?
conspiracy is that they found this out. Like, we don't think that's the Middle East. We think you're talking about Ethiopia. The conspiracy is that the CIA went and apprehended the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
3 reasons why use wise.
I heard the craziest thing recently about the president of France.
What's happened with the president of France?
Candace Owens has been doing this online where she has been researching the president of France and like I guess his family for I don't know if it's been a couple years now or like a year now. She's been doing extensive research on these people. What she's saying is this: the president of France, he is actually not married to a woman. His wife is actually a man who also so happens to be his father.
What?
When Candace was searching and she was like doing all this stuff, there was even a news article from the 70s about the president's dad that pretty much said one day he randomly just disappeared for a while and he came back and he looked different. There are no images of his wife.
What is that?
Not even just that, when she was a kid. Candace went as far as to start even interviewing people that supposedly went to the schools that she said she went to. All of the kids at the schools that grew up said, we don't even know who the that is.
Wow.
So basically what the theory is, these people are freaking insane, and the father decided to transition and became a woman, and he fell in love with his son, and they pretty much got married, and now they're together for real.
Really?
And I'm not even kidding. I'm going to show you a picture of his father when he was younger and a picture of his wife right now.
Yeah, bro.
Mike.
Dude, no, this is actually insane.
Come on, bro.
So you think he knows that's his dad?
He knows it's his dad. That's what people are saying.
Well, I've been watching this whole thing since Candace Owens started it. I don't remember her saying that his father was his wife. I might be wrong, but I don't remember her saying that. I remember her saying that she was her brother. So she was actually a man. Her brother disappeared. Now it's her, something like that. But definitely not Macron's father.
Hey, it's Glamham.
When I came home, I noticed a plane that was circling. It was going around and around in circles around this county where I live at. And last night, we got 4 down rain started.
Yes, that would be me. I posted a video of a plane triangulating Asheville, North Carolina, precisely 2 weeks before Hurricane Helene. My account was banned at almost 300k followers not long after that, so I'm going to tread very carefully. This flight pattern is a NASA P-3 Orion. And what's special about that plane is it has a science lab inside that is used for weather research. And according to their website, at the time of research, that plane was available to rent for $3,500 an hour. There was something called the Edge mission going on. But many people, including myself, found it an astonishing coincidence that the flight pattern was exactly where the flooding would be concentrated in western North Carolina. There was a lot of other stuff that I posted about. That was all publicly available information. That's all I'm going to say for now. So maybe go follow me on YouTube for those videos that were banned, all 700 of them. I'll see you in the comments. Take care.
Since November last year, a lot of people have been getting this weird feeling as if there's something off. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. Your mom doesn't know what it is. No one knows what it is, but it's as if there's something off. And 2025 literally feels as if we're living in a different dimension or a parallel universe. So then this lady comes along. This is Cassiopeia7. She's been uploading videos since last week and she's been going viral. Everyone's talking about it. Actually, she's freaking a lot of people out with this supposed conversation that she's having with this entity called 7.
Contact 3, that's us, fails 29,149 days after Contact 1. 4,324 days in your future, which is May 27th, 2025.
So this thing is making crazy predictions about something that's about to happen in May 2025. And at first I thought this is ridiculous. This is a LARP or a fake story to grab attention. But the deeper I went into this, the more I found this bizarre connection with this theory that the orbs, the alien orbs that are supposedly coming from the ocean, are actually not coming from the ocean. They're actually leaving Earth for some reason.
The creator of the video that I tagged below said something that is actually terrifying. She said, what if the aliens are not coming? They're leaving.
Then there's this bizarre connection with Aleister Crowley's gray alien entity that he talked to, the alien pods.
Aleister Crowley, a very famous occultist who practiced ritual magic, he conducted a ritual that's called the Amalantra working, and he made contact with an alien named Lamb. This alien entity that he drew out was the first gray alien that was ever depicted. This magic ritual, it goes all the way back to the Book of Enoch. There were these fallen angels, they called the Watchers, and the Watchers came and they taught man how to use magic, and these entities taught them the Enochian language. Crowley said, okay, well, let's talk to these entities using that Enochian language, and he did that many times. For decades and decades, the government had this internal Pentagon group that said, hey, all this alien activity could be demonic in some way.
And this magnetic pole shift that's already happening.
So we live in Florida on the Panhandle, and this is what we're dealing with right now. It has been snowing for 5 hours straight.
This is the wildest thing I think I've ever experienced. Oh my God, so wild.
So this is really wild because it connects a bunch of things that people have never connected before. So what do you think?
Ruled out. The governor says he can't get a straight answer out of anybody.
I want to get the answers. Everyone doesn't get it. Be candid with you. Want to get.
Notice the fire over the helicopter. I was chasing her. Groups, he didn't do it.
So what do you guys think? Conspiracy or not? Let me know down below in the comments. In the meantime, thanks for watching. This is Lawrence with Tango's TikToks. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share. And have an amazing day. Bye.